Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe, that will not murmur or complain beneath a chastening rod, but in the hour of grief or pain will lean upon its God. A faith that shines more bright and clear when tempest rage without, that when in danger knows no fear, in darkness feels no doubt. Lord, give us such a faith as this, and then whatever may come, we'll taste and hear the hallowed bliss of an eternal home. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fitted for the sky, to serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may it all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely. Assured if I my trust betray, I shall forever die. Rise up, O men of God, have done with lesser things. Give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. Rise up, O men of God, his kingdom tarries long. Bring in the day of brotherhood and end the night of wrong. Rise up, O men of God, the church for you doth wait. Her strength unequal to her task, rise up and make her great. Lift high the cross of Christ, tread where his feet have trod. As brothers of the Son of Man, rise up, O men of God.
Good evening.
That's fine.
I just figured out something.
But
That should help. There we are. All of a sudden, I was wondering, why is the sound not coming in the office? It's out there. Well, they had it connected to the speaker in the kitchen.
um,
I heard the timer playing, but I was like, why is it not in here? And then I remembered why.
uh,
I frequently experience moments like that.
so you were a slacker today, huh?
No.
Y'all were slacking around for a treat.
Mm. Not really. I had Mrs. Birthday party.
And look at that, I was done at 8:40.
Mm-hmm. What'd you have for reading?
Actually, a long reading. First Chronicles 15 through 19.
Yeah, it's about average. Between 3 to 4 chapters.
Yeah.
Yep. I had Psalms 8 through 10 yesterday.
So it was a short one.
It was pretty short, yeah. I mean, Psalms 9 has a little bit of girth to it, but, nothing like Corinthians. Not Corinthians. Is it Corinthians? What did you have?
Chronicles.
Chronicles. There we go. Nothing like Chronicles. Of course, when he had me sub for Chronicles, we were in the genealogy part,
Yep.
which is where I tend to get put for subbing for some strange and ominous reason. Whenever I do CJ's reading, we're always in some sort of genealogy.
That's right. Can you tell it was a long read?
You just went, oh, robot. Can you tell it was a blip, 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 blip? Excuse me.
Can you tell it was a long reading by my voice?
Not really. You sound about normal. Must be your mic. Being so awesome.
Well, good.
You sound about normal. I can't say you sound weird because you always sound weird. Like me.
Yep.
I don't sound weird. I sound strange.
Sure.
Hey, Reba's here, and she's gonna say,
Reba.
"Come on."
We're waiting for Reba.
She's gonna say, "Fun Friday! Hooray!"
No, we were gonna anticipate Reba's comment.
No,
Yeah.
but I've already typed it out.
I'm not gonna do it until she does.
You said.
I'm stubborn that way.
Mm-hmm. You haven't seen stubborn.
Fun Friday! Hooray!
Hooray! Ooh. Someone printed out a bread recipe in bold print. Would you look at that?
Well, yeah.
You'll never know the things you find sitting next to you here in the office. Reba says I'm a slow typer. And as you know, so am I.
Yeah. That's why he slacks on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. Remember, it's a study. I'm not supposed to do all the work.
On Wednesday night, it's a study.
Mm-hmm. Do you type out all the answers in the banners?
Not when I'm not teaching on Wednesday night at church.
Exactly.
But the teacher in a Wednesday night Bible study has his notes and everything all typed up in a nice PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
So study comes with preparation.
Right. And I'm prepared, more or less. Just preparation means different things.
Happy birthday to you. You live in us. Oh, wait a minute. We're not supposed to sing that one.
What?
Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey. It's not fun to. Happy birthday, Amos. That was my tribute.
Hey, Dad! You'll have to tell Amos that CJ sang him a happy birthday song. Song! And hello, Sam. He says, I use my tablet.
You, remember, y'all, if you have any, let's see,
Where's that banner of yours?
if you have any Bible questions, topics, or song requests, please feel free. Wonderful love of Jesus.
CJ sang the song with the monkeys, right there in the monkey pit. Yop, 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 yop. What are we doing? Wonderful love of Jesus?
Yep.
Wonderful love of Jesus, greater than all
Nope.
my sins. What?
Nope.
No?
In vain and high and holy raised my soul, her grateful voice would raise.
Oh, the wonderful love. How's that one go?
Wonderful love of Jesus, wonderful love, wonderful love, wonderful love of Jesus. Yo, I've been working on TikTok.
Don't even get me started.
I mean, uh, uh, I'm popular on there. My most recent video has like 100 clicks on it. Some comments and it's fertile soil there.
Oh, there it is. If it's the right one. 790. Sam, I don't think so. Yeah. TikTok, the mouse went up the clock. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse went up the clock. Yeah. I used to remember that whole rhyme.
What? CJ does what?
Sam's being all mystical and he's being that really helpful. Well, the word just dropped out of my head. Yeah, he's being that mystical advisor. There we are. It has really, really helpful advice. That takes
Yeah.
a whole movie to decipher,
Yeah. He thinks that you say I disagree means I move on. What? Are you referring to this morning, Sam?
Don't ask me. I have no clue what's going on. Sam says, did take mystery out of it.
I didn't say I said I digress, but I digress. I disagreed with Levi on something, and it got to a point where I said, here's the point, but I digress. Let's move on.
Hmm. I
I,
see.
di- I digress means we're getting off of it. That's what it means.
It means I veered from topic.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
On what? Just disagree with me in general?
Sam's being a little tired this afternoon. This morning on his side.
You know, we're allowed to have disagreements, right? There are 7 things we are commanded to agree on. That's it. Ephesians 4, 4 through 6. One body, yes, bingo. One spirit, bingo. One hope, bingo. One church, one God, one Father, one Savior. Oh, we've already dealt with that this morning. Go watch the replay. What we disagreed on is really inconsequential.
Explain to me the scenario.
Why?
I just feel like knowing.
Let's sing a happy song. Well, you can ask Levi. I'm not going. No, this is not going to turn into that stream. Let's sing. And vain and high and holy days. My soul, her grateful voice would raise. For who
Can
can
sing
stand the lonely
Jesus
grace of the wonderful
alone.
love,
Jesus,
wonderful
wonderful
love,
love, wonderful
wonderful love,
love, wonderful
wonderful love of Jesus.
Jesus. Wonderful
Wonderful love, wonderful love,
wonderful
wonderful love
of
of Jesus.
Jesus.
I
Until my hiding is night in calm in darkness light, in pain alone, in weakness night, is the wonderful love of Jesus. Wonderful love, wonderful love, wonderful love of Jesus. Wonderful love,
Wonderful love,
wonderful
wonderful love of
love.
Jesus.
My
My hope will find and
when I
win
call,
alone.
my
My
trust
trust
for
for
thee when I fall
thee.
in life, in
And
death,
then my all in
in
all,
the wonderful
wonderful
love
love
of
of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Wonderful
Wonderful love,
love, wonderful
wonderful love,
love, wonderful
wonderful love of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Wonderful
Wonderful
love,
love,
wonderful
wonderful love,
wonderful
wonderful love of Jesus. No, I gave him an answer. I said, no, you can watch the video. That's not avoiding the answer. That's keeping peace.
Yes. And Sam, there is several things that the good Lord blessed me with in abundance, and understanding and respect are two of the leading ones. Understanding that this obviously isn't something that CJ wants to discuss, and respecting him enough to accept his neglect.
Uh, what about the lust of flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life? They're not of the Father, they're of the world. And well, lust of the eyes is what I see with my eyes that I lust for, that I have pleasure in. Lust of the flesh, uh, things that make my body feel good, and pride of life, my ego.
Reba says, just as I am. Maybe.
You got any thoughts on those three?
Mildly confused, but not about that.
That's right. Well, what's the flesh? You saw that the fruit was good for food, lust the eyes. It was desirable to make one, lust the flesh. It was good for food, Lust the eyes, it looked pretty, and lust of the pride of life, desirable to make one wise. That's Genesis 3, Matthew 4. Lust of the flesh turns to bread. Pride of life, uh, pride of life, throw yourself down and, let's oh, lust the eyes, I will give you all these kingdoms if you bow down to me. If you don't want to say that's the pride of life, it is definitely the lust of flesh, the lust of the eyes.
Well, all I have to say in the matter is probably in defining parameters. What is lust?
A want.
It's a little deeper.
Well, at the base level is a want.
I know. It's a little deeper.
Well, the word itself is now a little deeper.
The connotation behind the word.
Uh, to lust in the context of sin is to find sinful pleasure in something, to desire something.
The best way to remember the idea of lust is to want something more than God, especially in the Christian world. To lust is to want something so much you place it before God's commandments and above God in position.
Uh, I would disagree with that. That's not the fundamental definition of lust, but it's in the context of sinful lust. Yeah, I
What
would
is sin?
agree. What do you mean?
What is a sin?
Transgressing the commandments of God?
Transgression
No.
in general.
Transgression in general?
Of any law.
Not necessarily.
Yes, look at the definition.
So if the government says don't meet because of COVID and you don't meet,
Now you remember where the government's law
that's
sits,
a
right?
sin. What?
Remember where the law of the government sits when it collides with the law of God?
Below the law of God.
It sits below. There is a supreme law.
Right, so your definition wouldn't be correct.
It is. But
Well, can
there is
you give me the Greek?
a caveat.
Okay, what's the caveat?
God's law. The definition of sin is to disobey. It doesn't explicitly say in what sense and where.
The context determines
Right.
that.
And the same thing applies with the word lust. The connotation behind the word lust, especially for the Christian, is something that is put above God in position. An idol is a lust. You are worshiping the idol and you're lusting for it. When you want something more than you want to obey God, that is a lust. And that lust becomes sin. Because a lust carried out is sin.
So in the Bible, is there good lust? Or is it just bad? Lust is a desire, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I desire to do the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of lust. That's not sinful.
You have a verse that says we lust to do the word of God, or we
Uh,
lust to do something good.
well, let's look at the word. What's that word lust? I need to go to Blue Letter Bible.
Where are we at?
I don't know where the word lust is used.
Urge.
Okay.
It's the first time the Bible is mentioned, or the word lust is mentioned in the Bible is Proverbs 6:25, which says,
Uh,
"Do not lust after her beauty in your heart, nor let her allure you with her eyes." So our
I
do not lust.
I got Exodus 59,
What?
but
Uh, Let me guess. You're using KJV.
yeah.
All right, that'd be the difference.
Let's see. Okay, where is the word? Ye lust. I'm looking at James 2, and I
So,
will.
if we look at Exodus 15, the enemy said, "I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I shall draw my sword, and my hand shall destroy them." So already the connotation of lust there is negative, bad.
Good. Okay.
So then the
So,
next time it's mentioned, Psalms 78, and they tempted God in their heart by asking meat for their lust. Bad.
is that the same word?
It is.
Okay. To set the heart. So, literally, the word means to set the heart upon, long for, covet, desire, would fain, lust after. So it's literally to set your heart on something, whether for good or for evil. The context determines that, and let's see where it's used. Let's see. To desire, James 4:2. Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. You fight in war, yet ye have not because you ask not. Uh, Strong's puts that in the category of to desire. You desire you you're desiring something, but you don't have it, so you kill for it, and it turns into a war because you're not asking for it.
Look at this. This is strange. You pull it up? No. Look, this is lust, soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind. Look at this. That which breathes, the breathing substance, or being, soul, the inner being of man. What?
Interesting.
Very, very perplexing. I am now confused. Sleep
To,
appetites.
So lust.
Activity of mind.
Here's what I want to get. Lust is not just sexual, and it literally means a craving. In the context of a passage,
Hmm.
determines what that craving is, whether it be good or whether it be evil. I think. Uh,
So, in the context of lust of the eye, is that good?
no, that's not good.
All right. But nonetheless, when you look at most of the time the word lust is used, it's used in the negative sense as a sin. Otherwise, it's framed as the word is used want.
Well, that's the same with lust.
Right. But English is a really strange language. We will split a word from meaning two things and create two separate words that mean in origin the same thing, but they have two different ideas by the time you finish boiling them out. When you say, "Oh, I lust for something," the first idea that most people get is temptation, lust, bad. That's the first
Yeah,
idea when you use the word lust in a sentence. The first thing that comes to mind: bad, sin, not good. The word that comes to mind is not the word want or need or have appetite of. See?
well, it doesn't. But just because it has that connotation that we've assigned it doesn't mean it's never used as a want. Uh, like in James 2, you want and have not. Ye kill and desire to have, but cannot obtain. You fight war. Well, let's see what the let's see what the ESV says. Uh, the young's little says you desire.
As does ESV.
You desire something, you don't have it. You murder yourselves because you're not able to obtain. You fight in war because you have not, because you're not asking. So you want something, you're going through all this trouble, and you're not getting it because you're not asking God, is the idea.
Now, is the connotation behind this word lust good or bad?
It's not sexual.
No,
Uh,
lust doesn't have anything to do with sexual directly. As much as
it,
cold has anything to do with water.
but, but it's bad because they're not asking, but it's not bad that they're desiring something.
Look at this.
What,
Back up.
what,
James
what,
starts this with a question. Where do wars and fights come from among you? Do they not come from your desires for pleasure that war in your members? Already, this is a negative question. He is addressing a problem, a sin. Why are you guys fighting? He says, "You
yeah.
lust and you do not have. You murder and covet." This word lust here is used in the negative. It is used as a bad want.
So if you want something and don't have it, is that bad?
No,
What makes it bad? The next phrase, you murder and covet
and
for it.
covet. Right.
But what I'm trying to get you to see here is that the word itself here, this phrase, you desire and you have not, is not bad.
It is based upon the previous context.
Not the phrase itself.
No. Is
They are wanting something, but they can't have it. Yes, they're fighting over it,
is the word
but they want something.
is the word transgression bad?
Yes,
No. There's not a single bad thing about all the sounds used in transgression.
that's not my argument, and you know it.
You said just because it's used this way in the phrase doesn't mean it's bad.
No, my argument is the phrase you desire and you do not have is not good or bad by itself. Now, you are right, the context says it's a bad desire because
And
there's
why are you separating the context from its meaning? That is a sin.
no. What I'm doing is showing you the context determines the meaning of the word,
Right.
not the other way around. The word here is not bad unless you have the context. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
You desire, you do not have by itself is not bad in this verse until you keep reading. That's the point.
But it is bad after the first verse.
Whence, where do fights and wars come from? Out of your passions. There are soldiers in your members you desire and have not.
What is he saying?
Yes, you just did the same thing I just said. The
Mm-hmm.
context says this is a bad desire.
Right, right.
But
But you
you
jumped
just,
down and you said that the phrase is not bad.
the phrase by itself is not bad. You desire and you do not have.
Right. Now,
I
why
can,
are you separating that phrase from its true meaning?
I,
Thing that
I'm,
describes
I'm,
and fills out the phrase.
I am, I am showing you something.
It's the same arguments that everybody in the world will use. Don't judge me.
No, no,
Is that
no,
phrase wrong?
no, you don't. You're not understanding what I'm doing. I'm showing you that the phrase you desire and have not is not sinful or uh, unsinful, stripped out of its context. It's a desire.
I would like to
Verse
know why you're stripping it out of
1,
context.
because it's to prove a point that the phrase ye desire is not evil in and of itself. In the context, it is evil. But in and of itself, eh, we don't know what kind of desire it is. But from verse 1, we see that it's a bad desire.
Obvious, but I want to know why you're pulling it out of the context.
I'm not.
You are. You said you have to
Uh,
strip it from the context in order for it to be a neutral statement.
it is a neutral
Anything
statement.
out of the Bible, you're not using the Bible to define it, which is not using the Bible as a commentator.
Okay. You desire and you have not.
Correct.
Anything about that statement evil? No.
No.
There's There's nothing evil about it until you read the surrounding verses.
Right. But why are you making that point?
Because you're saying lust is always evil. And I said, no, it's not.
I said
Because
lust is used in the connotation of evil.
Well, that's
In our modern English society, when you say the word lust, everyone translate it as a evil desire. It has moved its meaning to meaning wanting something bad, or wanting something bad enough to sin to get it, which is what they're doing right here. You desire for pleasure so much that you're warring. You lust, you want this so much that you do not have, that you're willing to murder and covet in order to achieve it. The word lust may mean want, but in everyone's minds, it's triggered, its meaning is a bad want.
yeah.
It's
And
used that way in the context every time it's mentioned as
no,
want.
no, it's not.
You have to pull it out of the context in order to make it mean want.
Yeah. No, no. Literally, the definition of the word is want.
Right.
Uh,
And we've stripped the two words apart. Want and lust have become two different things, as different as
mm,
good and bad.
yeah, in the English, but in the Greek, they're not.
In the Greek, it's not called lust, it's a different word.
No, it's not. It's the same word for lust and want. We don't go to the English to understand Greek. We go to the Greek, and lust and want are the same word in the Greek. Context determines whether it's a lust or whether it's a want, brother.
Epithemo. I'm sure I butchered how that's said. Excuse me. Where is the
I'm
word
not
want? I want.
zero.
What?
Where'd you get apathia? Zero.
Lust.
Oh wait, sorry.
Epithemo. Whatever. Epithelo. I'm not Greek. I'm not even going to try.
You lust, and it is a to set the heart upon, to long for rightfully or otherwise, to covet, desire, would fain, lust after. So it's a neutral word.
Okay, so keep that in mind. That's epitheo. That's what we're going to call it.
That's a, I'm not saying it's a good lust in James. My point is the word ye lust isn't good or bad when you just look at the word lust. You can't say it's bad or it's good without considering the context. That's the point. That's illustrating how
So you're
what the
looking at
word is.
epitheo? This is the word used for want. Does that look like epitheo? The Greek have two separate words.
So what's want? Oh, thanks.
That is wonderful.
Thanks, John.
Want, poverty.
That's
Want,
wonderful.
need.
Interesting.
Basically, a lack of something. Womp. Want.
So,
See, look, two different descriptions.
right, but that's
Different
not a.
idea. You said they were
To,
the same word in Greek.
to be fair, that's not the way we use want. He's saying that in that passage, I've learned to be poor, I learned to abound. Being want means being poor in that passage, not I learned to want things.
Right. Well, let me look elsewhere.
Epithemio. Hey, I like that. Uh, epither no. Epithemio means to long for rightfully or otherwise.
So look at this.
Desire.
2 Corinthians 9, verse 12. For the administration of this service not only supplieth the want of the saints, but also, but is abundant also by many thanksgivings unto God. This is the want,
And
wanting something, right?
that's no, that's still poverty.
The want of the saints. They want something, right?
Well, if it's the same word, it's poverty.
It's the same word.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the need of something. That's what want means. You lack something. Poverty. That's what the word means. I want water. That means I don't have any. I'm lacking water. Right?
that's not the way. That's not the type of want we're talking about.
What type of want are we talking about?
A desire.
No.
That's what we started this conversation talking about,
But
us
you
there.
told me that the Greek used the same word for want and
For the yeah, want is in a desire.
now you're just using the modern word for want as desire. But if you look in the Greek, they're two different things. Okay? Desire, lust, has the bad connotation. The word want has a necessity to it. I need something. I don't have something. Desire means you have what you need, but you want more.
So what about
You can
when it?
desire in your wants. Yes, that's possible.
So a desire is only bad, but the Greek says rightfully or otherwise.
What?
The Greek for desire is to set the heart upon, to long for rightfully or otherwise. That's the word for lust.
Right. But look at
So
how it's used in the Bible. In the Greek context, how is it used?
we would have to go through every passage. Not every time it's used in a bad way. You would have to prove that. But from the word itself, it is not a bad thing. Context determines the usage.
What verse are we on in James?
Well, James 4 isn't the whole Bible.
I know that.
Can, can you, yeah, click on the word and I think, now,
I think one of these have the ability to search the Greek word. Epithemio. This
well,
is the
well,
total times the epithemio is used.
yeah.
It is
Let's look.
used in the KJV 16 times. 4 times is it translated as desire. 2 times is translated as covet.
Bad,
2 times lust. 2
bad,
times lusted.
bad,
2 times coveted.
bad.
1 time desired.
I don't know. We would
Desire,
have to look.
desiring. Let's look for desired, which is Luke 22:15. And he said unto them, with desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer.
So is that bad?
That would.
Was that so that's just my point. That's been my point all along. The word itself is not always used in a bad light. Jesus wanted, he desired to eat the Passover. And that's the same word lust.
It is. Alrighty.
Okay, so Christ is averted.
But is it used negatively in lust of the
Yeah,
eyes? All right.
yes it is.
That was the definition I wanted of lust right there.
Well, yeah. But you can't do a. Before you were saying it always means a bad lust.
I asked
And,
you if you could find me a verse where it wasn't, and you couldn't.
uh,
I had to find me a verse that wasn't.
well, I want. To be fair, I don't have e-sword. And e-sword doesn't do. And Blue Letter Bible does not do that. So I was working on what Blue Letter Bible gave me.
Mm. But that still does not negate the fact that when you use the word lust, the first thing people think of is a bad want.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay?
Uh,
And
yeah.
in most of the time when it's translated as lust, it's in a negative sense. Otherwise, it's translated as desire because the context allows it to be. So the word lust in English has a negative idea still. Otherwise, it's translated as some other word. You don't find a translation that says, and Jesus lusted for food to eat the Passover, and Jesus lusted to eat the Passover with them. You
Well,
don't
what?
find that. That's because
What?
the word lust has an embedded meaning towards wrong.
Yeah. The English. I will give you that. The English perception of the word lust has been twisted to mean it's always wrong.
It's just been
But
taken to one side of its definition.
but that's not how the that's not how people reading the Bible would have taken lust to always mean something that's wrong. That's how we would take it,
Mm,
but the way the way a word is used in English is not the authority on the way it's used in the Bible.
correct. But we have authority to use different languages because some of Jesus's quotes of the Bible are in a Greek translation of the Bible. Remember, at that point in time in history, everything was Hebrew.
Right.
The scribes viewed quoting in Greek as a sin.
Interesting. I
And
didn't know
scholars
that.
looked at that. Scholars nowadays, English scholars, whatever, people who scholar in Greek looked at it and they said, look at this. Jesus quoted this in Greek. Now, all of the New Testament was written in Greek. You know. But in Jesus' time before the New Testament had been written, there was already a Greek version of the Old Testament.
Right.
And
That's
Jesus quoted several prophets in the Greek form.
right.
And so there we have Jesus' authority to use different languages.
Yeah, but that doesn't determine the
I know, but that's an interesting side note.
right.
For people who wonder, like, we can't use English, we have to learn Greek because that's what is written. No, we can use English, folks. It's all right. Jesus quoted a different language of the Old Testament. He left the
And
example of using a different version.
also, I think it says in Acts 17 of every language and tribe, God is made of one blood. Uh, Oh, where is it?
You better go dig that one up.
And then we'll have to end it. But I love the discussion.
I did too.
I wish I could have settled that better with Blue Letter Bible instead of you us arguing over it, and then you're like, "Hey, let's just look at how it's used," and it's
But you
right
can
there.
agree with me that the English use of the word lust is negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh.
That's all I needed. When we translate lust in our minds in English, it is negative.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when we go to the Bible, even though we think of lust as negative, we have to be careful. Be
Our Well, there's
yeah,
no time that lust is translated as good, but the word used for lust gets translated differently depending
right,
on what we're talking about. But the
right.
word lust itself,
Yeah, and the English is
yes,
bad.
right. See, even when King James had his scribes translated, they used lust in a negative sense. This is not
Yeah,
a new idea.
right.
Lust in
Uh,
English just has a negative sense.
uh,
Otherwise,
uh,
it's translated as want or desire.
yeah. And it was just, by the way, my, my thing is it would be equally as correct understanding all the meanings of the word lust to substitute lust for any of the desire passages.
Right.
Because n-
That's
n-
if you want a well versed meaning.
yeah, if if I was a translator, I would not do that because that would confuse people.
Yes,
But
exactly. If you're telling someone, I lust for a glass of water, they're going to go, what? Is it wrong for. Are you religiously bound not to drink water? What? You know, they'll think immediately as it's a no no for you.
I bet in 100 years that'll change though. Like that's the thing with language. It's
Right.
constantly changing. Like the word gay used to mean happy,
Well,
and
yeah,
now
that one.
and now it's a homosexual word.
Hmm.
So the domain of a word sometimes it changes over time.
Right. But have you heard any in the normal average day worldly lingo? Have you heard anyone use the word lust?
I don't think I have. I think it's been uh, reserved for theological circles.
Hmm. You know,
It-
lust as a word kind of died out as Koine Greek did.
yeah,
It kind of fell off the board. Only people who study the Bible and read the Bible
well, well,
know
well,
words normally used.
like the word in as much.
Right. Inasmuch as, therefore,
Uh, that, yeah, therefore, although I study the Bible, so I mean,
therefores, and heretofores,
well, that's,
and your speakers use that, but you talk to the cashier at the gas station, they don't use therefores.
yeah, the person I was studying with uses King James, and I said, well, I don't want to talk about which translation is best, so I'll just use KJV, and I'm like, I hope I know all the words in this section. Mm.
Right. Well, just
Oh, so,
don't go for a summarized Bible. Those are no-nos.
no,
Paraphrased.
the thought for thought Bibles tend to be. loose in their translation.
because it's a
Very,
man's thought.
very liberal in their translation.
Right. So they tend to be
But
full of more errors.
so that was an interesting discussion.
And we came to a good conclusion. We
But
still love each other. Always will. Most probable.
uh,
Nah.
you know, if I had a Bible program that would have been settled in 2 minutes, I could be like, here it is.
Right. You used to
But
have
I,
this word.
I can't do that. Uh, I used to have it, but not as efficient.
Just as I am without thee, but that thy blood was shed
For me,
and that thou
thou
bidst
bidst
come to
to
thee,
me,
O
O
Lamb of God,
of God.
I come.
I come. That's not the words.
I know, I was using the Greek. Just as I am and waiting
Not
to
to
rid my soul of
the wonder
want to thee whose blood
of
can cleanse each thought, O Lamb of God, I come. I come. Just as I am, poor, wretched, blind, sight riches healing of the mind. Yea, all I need and thee to find, O Lamb of God, I come. Just
I
as
am the
I receive.
big
Welcome, pardon, cleanse me, be
God.
thy promise. I
Evil
believe, Lamb of
of God,
God,
I come.
I come.
Just as I am, thy love
Unknown and
has frozen
every barrier down. Now to be
behind me.
thine alone, O Lamb of God, I come.
I come.
I wasn't sure how many verses you have. I have 6. So I just took a guess.
Oh, well.
I was going to try to do like 1, 4, and 6. But then I just did 1, 2, 4, and then we just did 5, 6. So.
Ah. Why have you got Why am I echoing?
How many do you have?
5.
Let's see. I was wondering which one you had.
Well, I hope you all have been edified by this time of the discussion. I enjoyed it. I love having these discussions brother to brother about the Bible. It's challenging. We challenge each other, make each other grow.
What's funny was neither of us were exactly wrong.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Neither of us were exactly wrong.
No, we were both right. We just didn't have all the information to prove it until you were like, hey, let's go over here. Oh, wait, it is desire here. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. But my main premise still stood.
that. But thank you all for being here, and we will see you all next time when we meet our 3 goals. Again, we want to glorify God, edify you, and answer any spiritual questions you may have. So if you ever have a question, does lust always mean bad things? Go to this video and
Figure it out.
get figure it out.
The long and the short of it is, lust always does mean bad things, but the Greek word for lust does not.
Yeah, lust in the English language
Yeah, that's
has
the long
put
and the short of it.
yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you all, and goodbye. Love you. Have a good night.
Thank you all for being here. Reba, I hope you were able to catch that song. She might have got tired with the wandering back and forth and laughed. You never know. Poor Reba. But I did sing her song if she ever does come back to watch this replay, if she did leave. There's a lot of ifs there. Little biggest word in the English language. So, thank you all for being here. Till we meet again, stay strong, stay safe. Love y'all. Bye bye.